Hey there, happy Tuesday. It is Lisa at Hand Stamped with Lisa Pareto. Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to be with you today. So today is Tuesday Craft and Chat. You know, on Mondays we do simple stamping, things that are easy peasy, things you can do in short periods of time. And let's be honest, nothing I create is going to take you a ton of time. I like to let the paper and the pretty images and all of the fun stuff do the heavy lifting, so we have more fun time crafting. I've got a couple of really fun things for you today, along with a project that I'm really excited to share with you. One of the things I want to tell you is that oftentimes I will post a fun little thing on Instagram and then I show it here full go or on my YouTube channel. So if you see something on Instagram and you come here and you're like, I can't find it, scoot over to YouTube. Good chance that it's there, and it's probably a little bit easier to find because it's those nice thumbnails that work really, really well if you're searching for something on my YouTube channel, Hand Stamped with Lisa Pareto. So just a word to the wise on that. So I do have a bunch of things I want to share with you today. I have one fun little tip that I learned and I was like, brilliant. I have a card with a suite that I've never used before. I started playing it with it today. It was a little challenging for me, so I want to get your feedback on it. And then I have a really fun, fold, exciting project for you to do that you'll get all the measurements and all of the good stuff on that. So let's just get right to it. Let's just get right to it, friends, right? So let me pull our camera over, and I am still playing with the height on this. So if you're not seeing enough and you need it pulled back a little bit, just leave a comment so that I know that. So first thing I want to show you is a sweet little idea for you. So most of us are card makers, and so sometimes I will make a card for a specific occasion, but a lot of times when I'm crafting for you, I will just make cards because I'm looking to showcase a suite or a bundle or something that's new, or I'm looking to share a tutorial, a tip, a trick, something like that. So this is a card that I made, and this one, you guys loved this one. So it's 3 circles in differing color cardstock attached to a piece of basic white, and then I just ran it through the embossing, ran it through with an embossing folder. And so you can see, there you go, you can see all of the texture on that. Another little circle here, nice, bright, super fun. But let's say that you're like, oh gosh, I have some cards and I actually want to gift a gift card. I don't want to just give this. I have a gift card I'm going to gift with it. I'm going to pop something in the mail. Rather than making a brand new card, you can just adapt a card that you made into a gift card holder, which is what I did right here. So here's the trick: 1.5 by 4.25. You want it to be this way. You could also do it the long way, but all you're going to do is put a little bit of tear tape on the edges and stick that in there, and now you have a perfect pocket for your gift card. So you don't have to start from scratch if you're looking to send something like that. You can use a card that you've already made, something that you love and you're like, oh, this would be perfect for them, and I just want to put a little something extra in there. Really, really sweet little idea, super easy, fun little tip that you can do to turn any greeting card into a gift card holder. I thought that was so fun, right? And then I want to show you this bundle that I just started working with today. So this is the Help Me Grow dies. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I think that this is perfection for scrapbooking, and that is the reason that I got it. I have so many pictures of my kids gardening. I have pictures of my grandkids watering the garden, and I was like, this is so cute, because if you open this up, it's actually, they're pretty big. These are pretty big images, if you can see on there. Like, this is the head of the spade, this is your little rake, this is your pot, and then you've got all these other things. When you look at it here, you're like, oh, that's so cute for cards. But I got it out and I was like, oh, she's big. Like she is impressive. So it comes with this set of dies as well. Really, really cute. I'm really smitten with this little stake place. Like, I mean, that is so cute, right? So I was playing around with this and I want to show you what I came up with. This is kind of like bonus card today. Super cute. I used this really fun petal background. I did it in pumpkin pie, and then I did it in basic white, and then this is Granny Apple Green. You know, it's named something like that. Who really knows? But look at how cute that is. I thought that that was just a really, really precious little thing. And then this is the gold twine, the gold little ribbon that we had. And I just had it laying out close by, so I grabbed that. But the linen thread would also be really cute there. But sometimes we think of stamp sets, or at least I think of stamp sets in, oh goodness gracious. And I get really like, oh, that's just for scrapbooking, or that's just for card making, or whatever. But a lot of times it just takes getting it out, playing with it, cutting it to really make it, figure out how it can work for you. So I thought that that was really fun. So I will show you that one more time, and then we're gonna scoot over to the project at hand. But isn't that cute? I thought that was really, really fun. So I think that that's a really darling card. So today, like I said, we have a little bit of a fussy. It's a little fussy, especially for me, right? I am not the queen of fussy. So we are going to use the Paradise Garden stamp set and die cutting. So this is the bundle that it comes with, and it actually comes with as well, it comes with that sweet little embossing folder that has all of those little little viney images, which I love that one. I think it's really, really great. But this is the bundle that we're going to be working with today. And it actually, we're also going to be using the paper that is part of that suite, which is the Garden Poetry, which you guys have seen me use a gazillion times. I'm obsessed with this paper. I love it so much. It is one of my, it's in all my favorite colors. It just is such a beautiful paper. I love, like, look at this, is like Night of Navy all the way over. Just, I mean, look at how pretty this is. So good. So we're going to be using this, but I wanted to tell you that this is also what I'm going to be using for my first month one of my Pretty Paper Club. So it's my monthly subscription. You can do it just 1 month. You can sign up for just 1 month, but we are going to do the Pretty Paper Club. And so the way that it works is every month you get a half a package of designer series paper. You get 6 cards, all cut, all prepped for you. You get a full color PDF, you get a roll of ribbon, you get a full package of embellishments, everything that you need to sit down and craft. And this is the one that we're going to be crafting with. You can sign up, starts April 1st. I will make sure, if you're not on my newsletter list, make sure that you get on my newsletter list. So type newsletter below, I will get that to you. But it's so cute. It's so cute. So I wanted to do a project with you today. It's not part of the monthly subscription. It's not part of the monthly card club, but again, we're focusing all on designer series paper every month. And so you can really learn how to get the biggest bang for your buck out of your designer series paper, how to use it in ways maybe you hadn't thought of, along with some really, really fun folds. But this is the one that we're going to be using. If you don't have the bundle and you want to add it on, you'll get a chance to do that as well. But if you have the bundle, what a great way to come up with, like, here's 6 cards, PDF, all the things, and you can use it that way too. So this is what we're using today. So let me get started and show you what we're going to do. So let me turn you back around here, get you set. And like I said, if we feel like we need this a little bit higher or lower, we can always move it around. So this is a fancy, fancy fold card. So let me show you what we're working with here. Let me get all of my pieces out that I need. All right, so we're doing, our main colors for this card are going to be pumpkin pie and crushed curry. And the reason that I'm using that is it's one of the pieces of designer series paper that is the cards, that is the color that they're using. And so this is actually from just the 2 different pieces. So if you look at the difference, this is one sheet and then this is from another sheet, but I'm going to be using this back one, and look at how beautifully those play together. So pretty. So let's talk about what we need for measurements. The base of your card is going to be pumpkin pie, and it is going to measure 4 1/4 by 11. Okay, so that is going to be the base of your card. And then you're going to need some extra pieces here. So first up, piece of designer series paper. This is going to measure 4 by 5 1/4. And then you need 2 smaller pieces of designer series paper that coordinate with that one. And these are going to be 2 1/2 by 4. So 2 pieces at 2 1/2 by 4. A piece of cardstock. This is 3 by 3, and it is in a coordinating color that'll go with your designer series paper. And then I have 2 squares of basic white. This one is 3 by 3, and this one is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So if you follow on YouTube, all of those things are written down, hand stamped with Lisa Prato. If you do want more complete, you get like the whole written out list of those things. So let's do the hard part first. And that is the scoring here. Give myself a little bit more room so that you can see what I'm doing. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this piece, it's 4 1/4 by 11, and we're just going to score it in half at 5 1/2. Always make sure dark piece is down here, and we're going to go ahead and score that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move it over and I'm going to score it again at 2 3/4. All right, so I have it scored in half, and then I have this front panel scored in half again. So if we fold it, this is kind of where we're starting at, is it's going to be like one of those Z fold cards. But we have to do a little bit of trimming to make this work really, really well. So I'm going to take this front panel, remember, so if I had it like this, I'm just going to flip it around and I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to cut a 1/4 inch off of this, so it just goes to 2 1/2. Let me just make sure. So that's 2 3/4. So we are going to take a 1/4 inch off of here. And I hope that I do this right. Let me make sure. I do my little cheat sheet here. Yes, so 1/4 inch off of there. Trust me, it took a little finagling. I saw this card online. I was like, I must make that. And I was like, all right, there is a lot of practice paper wasted. And so that is why I want to show you that. So you can see that it's just a little bit shorter than what I've got there. All right, and I'm just gonna, let me just make sure that that is where I want it at. That is 2 1/2. That is 2 1/2. All right, so this is gonna work great. You know what they say, measure twice, cut once. That has never have been my life story. So always a little challenging on those things. All right, so the next thing you're going to do is we're going to take this piece. It measures 4 1/4. And so what we need to do is we need to find the middle of it, which is at 2 1/8. So if I come over here on my little ruler, I can find 2 1/8. And I'm just going to make a little pencil mark there. So you can see I just made a little pencil mark at 2 1/8. And we're going to do a little bit more cutting. I told you this is involved for me. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your little mark and line it up there, and then you're going to line up the fold here. So we're just going to be cutting the triangles off of here. And I just made that little mark so that it would be easier for me to get it exactly where I want to get it. So that little piece goes over. And then I'm just going to flip it around, and I'm going to go at that same point, take it to the edge here, and cut that as well. And so what we end up with is something that's going to look like this. So you can see that I just created that little triangle on there, and that is the hardest part of this card. So we have done the trickiest part of this card to get it all to go. So we'll put this guy over here. We don't really need him anymore. And I am going to take my bone folder, because I find like if you're doing some of these more elaborate folds, sometimes everything just wants to pop up on you. And so it just makes it, I think, a little bit easier to work with. So let's put some of our pieces together here. So we've got our piece of pumpkin pie all scored. We're going to take our largest piece of designer series paper, flip that over. I want this side showing. Either one could show, because hello, that is a beautiful, beautiful floral. So we're just going to go ahead with that, and I'm going to put it on the inside of my card. So we can open that up a little bit, lay that down, and we're going to put this on the inside of my card. All right, and then we've got these next two really pretty pieces. We're going to flip those over. Again, come on, you could use any side of these. This paper is stunning, so pretty. All right, and so one of them is going to go on the other inside flap right here. I don't think there's an up and down on this one. I think it's just wherever you want to put it. We're going to do that, and then we're also going to put one on the front flap here, because that part's going to show as well. All right, so we've got our designer series paper on there. We've done all of our cutting. Now we're going to do a little bit of stamping. So we've got 3 pieces left. And so we're going to take the smaller piece of basic white that measures 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Now I already punched and cut out those sweet little, I mean, they're little what are they, like little vines, little plants. They're so cute, right? And I did one in pumpkin pie and one in crushed curry just to kind of pull it all together. And so those are going to sit on there as well. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to do a greeting on this one. And so I'm going to take one of the stamps from this set. It says you are appreciated, so I kind of know where I'm going to put those guys, right? And they're going to be off to this side, so I can go ahead and put this one, put my greeting. This is was the hardest part for me because it is on the diagonal. Don't ask me why, but it was struggle bus to get that stamped straight, so fingers crossed. Send good vibes. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and put this on here. And so I'm just going to kind of give it a little bit of adhesive on here. So we'll go ahead. We're going to stick that one right on there. And then this one is going to be layered on top. And so I do want to come in because I want a little bit of lift to that. And so I'm going to come in. I think I can use my regular dimensionals. I think they will work just fine. Hopefully we won't see too much of that. And I am going to come in with those little mini ones too because it just feels like we need a little bit more there. So put that over here. We're going to do one more on this side. So let me close that guy up. So there's not a ton of stamping on this. I stamped these little fellas and then I stamped the greeting, and that was really it. Otherwise the designer series paper is really doing that heavy lifting for us today. So we'll do that. And we're just going to bring that in right there. So it's just as a really pretty soft image there. Now I know that it doesn't match exactly, but we do have this Darling Duckling ribbon, and so I think it coordinates really well. Remember, not everything has to match, and so we're just going to go ahead and do a bow with this. So again, for the way that I do a bow, make my little ear, come around, make that other loop through and through. I just think that has always been the way that it has worked for me. I'm sure there's another little way that it works, but I feel like that just creates that nice bow where everything sits really, really well. And so we'll come in and give that a little chop here. All right, so we've got our little bow there. Our ribbon is done. Now to attach this, I'm going to come in with one of those mini dimensionals. I just find like it fits on the back really well, and it gives me a really nice solid stick. I did have someone ask if you are sending, if you're sending this in the mail, what happens? So one of the things that you can do is when you're sending a card in the mail, take a piece of cardstock, run it through your embossing machine, and create a corrugated piece or something that has like the striped one is really good. Place it on top of that between the card and the envelope, and it'll give you a little cushion, and you shouldn't have as much trouble with that. So that can be a really fun way to do it as well. So, and then we're just going to come in with a couple little, we're going to mix them up. Couple little gems there. This is the 2025-2027 flat pearls. I just think that is so pretty, right? And then we're going to come and we're just going to layer this one right on there. So you're going to get that nice little smidge of color on that. So in order to do that, make sure I did it on the right one. I got myself really nervous there. We're just going to put a little bit here, and then this one is going to just lay on here. Give us that little border that we want. All right. And then this guy is going to sit here. Did you see that coming? Did you know that's what I was going to do? So we're just going to go ahead and put our adhesive right on that front triangle. And we're going to go ahead and stick it right on there. And that is why you need to cut off just a little bit of that front panel. Otherwise, it won't fit well there. You'll get it. It'll just be a hot mess. It'll be such a disaster. So we've got this. We need to create a little space in here to write something. And so that is where that last piece is going to come in, is we're just going to put it right there. So I don't know why I flipped that over. They're both basic white, but you get the idea, right? So what I like to do is just hold it right on there and then close it and press it down. So I've got and it sits just like that. Isn't that so cute? So you can see that up close. We've just got those really pretty little vines, little floral, that nice greeting. We've got the bow, the little embellishments. Open it up, a perfect place to write your little note. You are so appreciated. So cute. How fun is that, huh? I was really excited about that. Again, if you need like full-blown directions and you want everything printed out, when I post it on YouTube, I always include what products were used, what the dimensions are, and where you need to score things, and plus you'll get to see it a second time. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, you know it's right below, so you can do that as well. Like I said, I'm so excited. This is the paper and this bundle that I'm highlighting for my first month. So you'll be able to sign up April 1st to the 10th, and then they will mail out on the 20th. And so if you're on my newsletter list or you type in Pretty Paper Party, you will get the information on that and you'll be the first one. It is limited. Since this is the first time I'm doing something like this, I don't want to overextend myself because I've got a couple other really fun things that I'm going to be offering as well. And so keep it easy, right? So any questions that you have, don't be afraid to reach out. You can always message me, put a comment below, and I'm happy to answer. But that is what I have for you today for Craft and Chat. That is what I have. I'm so excited that you joined me today. And if you have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, my friends, I will see you on YouTube, Instagram, and back here next week. Make it a great one.